So I do want to go through next is just looking at some of our fears. So there is no doubt about it. When it comes to confidence and certainty, what's going to stop us from being confident and certain? It's going to be our fears. So there are lots, and depending on how you look at them, but there are three greatest human fears. And I'm just going to go through these to see what you think of them. One is not being loved. So that feeling that we're not loved by anyone or anything around us, that we're not good enough, or not belonging, that we don't belong. Now, for everyone, you may decide, oh, there's one of those that I resonate with. For some people, it might be, oh, there's two that I don't. So if I just take my own personal one, when I went through this, it was like, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, like, I mean, I didn't want to be a mental health speaker. So it was like, oh, I'm not good enough to talk about this. Then not belonging was also something for me that came up because I had to speak at a women's health conference. Every other person was either a doctor or a healthcare practitioner. And here was me with my own personal story, Joseph off the street, just telling her own story. And I was beginning to get quite overwhelmed by that because I felt I didn't belong. I felt I hadn't the credibility, I hadn't the right to be there, and that I wasn't good enough. And those two things, those two of the greatest human fears, were going to stop me from getting on stage. Now, at the end of that seminar, the amount of people who came up to me and spoke to me and were so grateful to me for what I had shared, because I didn't have slides that you were squinting to read all the data and facts and figures. I wasn't delivering it in maybe, sometimes we can deliver in a dry way, or, people are just receiving information in different ways. But because mine was unpolished at the time, because I was very early in my speaking career, unpolished, it was from the heart, it was vulnerable. I even started to get teary-eyed in the middle of it, and then I held myself together. But that was what connected with the audience. So I could have held myself back because of one of these fears, or two of these fears in this case, but pushing through those fears was what helped me help others. So just have a look there and think to yourself and just jot it down. Is there one that resonates with you more than others? Now, I'm not going to get you to share it. I'm just going to get you to think it to yourself, because this is leading into something that we're going to look at a little bit more. So I do want you to think about in terms of fears. Fears are also connected to our belief system. And I want you to think in terms of, actually, I'm not going to share my screen just yet. I was about to do it. So let me ask you about beliefs. So just in general, what can anyone tell me? What is a belief? So if you have a belief about yourself, if you had to define it or what it means to you, similar to we spoke about confidence, we spoke about certainty, now about beliefs. What does a belief mean to you? Just come off mute if you have anything. I do have a definition, so I will share it with you in a moment. Kelly, go ahead.
It's something that you believe to be true about yourself, and a lot of the time it's come from experiences or messages that you've received or family.
Very good definition. Yeah, I like that. Anyone want to build on that, Kat? I see you're off mute.
Yeah, I think a belief is something that's already embedded. It's hard to change, even if there are evidence or facts that goes against that belief. It's like wrapped into who you are.
Yes. Very good. Very good. Laura, what about you? Oh, sorry, you're off mute. Maybe you hadn't.
Oh, was I? I just was
That's
writing
okay.
down something that what I hold as truth to be based on my own perceptions and perspective.
Oh, very good. Yes, I like this. God, we're getting a lot of people really good. You could all start writing for dictionaries here. Deanna, and then Rebecca, and then I'm going to go on to the actual definition. So Deanna, what have you got?
Yeah, very similar to Laura. It's like your perception of reality based on your own values.
Okay, Very good. Very good. Rebecca.
Beliefs are like unspoken rules about ourselves, others, and the world.
Ooh, unspoken rules. I like that because, yeah, a lot of the time we just kind of expect that other people will know them as well, which is not necessarily the way it should be. So let's have a look. I'm just going to share this. And again, I'd like you to write this down if you can. I just want that cognitive process of actually anchoring in some of the information here. So a belief. So a belief is a feeling of certainty about what something means. Something you know to be true to you. A blend of logic and emotion developed over time. It becomes our personal operating system. A belief is a feeling of certainty about what something means. Something you know to be true to you. A blend of logic and emotion developed over time. It becomes our personal operating system. Now, I'd love to know when you have that written down, what words stand out to you there. So again, from your own personal perspective, what are some of the words that stand out to you?
Certainty.
Okay, certainty. Very good. What else have we got?
For me, it's feeling. That one stands
Oh.
out.
Yeah, great. Rebecca, go ahead.
Developed over time.
Yes, yeah. What else?
Meaning.
Meaning, yes. Yeah.
Operating.
Kat? Yes, I'm the same. Kat. Operating system always stands out to me on this one. It doesn't matter how many times I'm doing this, I'm just thinking, yeah, it becomes your operating system. That is like the program that you're running on. But again, it just shows you that beliefs mean different things to different people. So we can have beliefs that are, I guess, supportive of us, that are helping us be the best we can possibly be. I'm just going to stop sharing that. We can have beliefs that are very much embedded in, that are supporting us to be, I could believe that I am invincible. Oh my gosh, I am the greatest speaker that has ever graced a stage. Now, that can be a good thing and a bad thing, but at the same time, that is probably more empowering because I'm not talking myself down. If I have a belief that, oh no, I do not feel that I can deliver this presentation, or I feel like I'm going to have that panic attack, I will definitely have a panic attack if I go on stage. That is a limiting belief. And one of the things that we're going to start to explore now is our limiting beliefs. And we're going to run a little bit over before we go into break, because I do want to capture you in this moment as you're thinking through this. So I want you to right now think about in terms of you being a professional speaker. So whether that is a keynote speaker and you're getting on stage, whether it is someone who needs to communicate within your job, whether it is that you're communicating through a book by being an author, but in the realm of being a communicator or a speaker, I want you to write down what are some of the limiting beliefs. So what are some of the beliefs that you have that are holding you back? So just scribble down. So let me just check what it is. It's on page 5 in your workbook. There's a little bit of space there if you want to write that down. But just write down some of the limiting beliefs that are holding you back. And I'm just going to use an example here. Susan, just when you had mentioned about that, the price point and that, you know, the hooking the fish, so to speak, that may, like, I mean, that may not have been a conscious limiting belief for you previously, but it's something that has come up today, and it may be something that you want to work on. But things like that, what are some things that are holding you back, that if you think of, you want to get on the stage, you want to stand in front of this audience, you want to write this book, what are the things that are holding you back? So just take a few moments, quiet time now, and scribble down as many of those as you can. If you get stuck, just raise your hand if you've got a question, or if it's not clear enough to you. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Hi, Diane.
Okay. Go ahead, Simi.
Yeah. So one of the things that stops me from achieving public speaking experience is about the conflict of values, in the sense. So the topic I chose in the past was that how to become successful, moving from past to future. So how do you become more strong-minded? How do you build up that willpower? For example, I can give you one example. Stay away from people who are negative. Say, so something like that. But then again, you have people who you lived with in the past. You know, last so many decades you've lived with them. They are friends or family members or relatives. So when I say, okay, how do you avoid negativity? You avoid negativity, you become stronger, you become more successful. But is it the right thing to do? I mean, what can you do? I mean, this is your aunt, this is your cousin, or it could even be your sibling. You know, if it's
so
a lot
I
of
want
people
to
have family members.
Let me ask you now, Simi, is this question coming from a place of you thinking about what you're delivering to others, or are you thinking of it from what's a limiting belief that's stopping you from sharing your message?
This is one of the things that I experience as I go along. There's a lot of negativity that I would rather not deal with, but then I just either stay quiet, you know, because I don't want to offend people. You don't want to.
So that's where we're digging into it now. So it's like, I don't want to offend people, or my message may offend people, or my beliefs may offend people. That may be, now I'm not putting words into your mouth, and as we go through this, I will be distilling some of this with each of you to say, okay, what is that limiting belief for you? But just take a little bit of time and think about, what does it mean for you? What comes up for you? Because that, if it's stopping you from saying what you want to say, it's stopping you from being authentically you and delivering your message, then what is the belief behind that that's holding you back? And I will help you all work through this after the break. So we are going to go to a break now very, very shortly, and Linda's going to bring set expectations on that. But what I do want each of you to do is, during the break, just have a little bit of time to think about to yourself some of the limiting beliefs. Now, I'm not asking you to go and look for a huge laundry list and don't keep writing. Guaranteed that within the first 5, the one that comes up for you most is probably there, or at least the essence of that is. And when we come back after the break, I'm going to be working with you to say, what is the one that you want to work on today? So we'll work on one of those limiting beliefs and basically go through a process to smash through that. And then you will learn the process, which will help you work through any of the other limiting beliefs that you may have. Because yes, some of you might have a list that, oh, you know, there's only 1 or 2 on it. Other people might have 20 already, and they're thinking there's another 20 that can go on that list. There's no right, there's no wrong. It's just a degree of self-awareness as well. So I do want to point out that at this point, we're probably feeling a little bit low because we've started to write down some of those things that, you know, it's hard to have a look at. It's hard to look at and say, these are the things that are holding me back. Give yourself grace, sit with that feeling, because we are going to bring you through a process that will bring you out the other side. So just give yourself grace that you're exactly where you're meant to be right now. You are meant to be feeling a little bit heavy at the moment and thinking to yourself, oh, you know, This is the thing that's stopping me. I feel like I'm not an expert in my field. That's what's stopping me from staying back. I feel like I'm not articulate enough. Maybe, oh, English isn't my first language, so therefore that is a limiting belief for me. There's lots of things that it could be, and it will be different for each one of you, and it is what's personal to you.